Alright, what's going on, y'all? This is BoxingWave back with another video. Triple G has another victim set for February, Martin Murray, alright? Martin Murray's a good fighter, alright? If you haven't seen him fight, don't watch his last fight against Domenico Spada. Don't watch that fight, okay? That fight was not a good performance by him, and it was a messy fight. A lot of holding, cuts, stoppages, unnecessary stoppages. You know, don't watch that fight, okay? Martin Murray does have some good fights. He fought Sergio Martinez. A lot of people feel that he beat Sergio Martinez, including myself. If anything, that fight should have been a draw. I mean, it was a close fight, but I thought Martin Murray edged it because of the knockdowns or whatever, and then him taking over the fight, the second half of the fight. All right, so let me get into it. Martin Murray, he's a good opponent. He's another top 10 middleweight. Okay. He's a tough fighter. He's a tough fighter. He can fight moving backwards, forward. He's usually in a shell. And, you know, I mean, he has respectable power, but he's not known to be a big puncher. But he's not a small middleweight neither. And he seems to be very durable. I mean, I've rarely ever seen him hurt that much, okay? The problem is with Martin Murray is that there's nothing about him that sets him apart from the other middleweights in the division, okay? You got so many middleweights, you know. You got David Lemieux, you got Andy Lee, you got Darren Barker, you got Felix Sturm, you got Daniel Gill, you got Rubio, you got all of these guys that's been fighting in the division for years, and they've been Matthew Macklin, another one. You know, I can keep going. You got all these guys that have been fighting in the division for years and been in close competitive fights with each other, and not many of them has set themselves apart besides Sergio Martinez in recent years. And now that Sergio Martinez is out of the way, he's old, he should be retiring. All right, he got beaten by Cotto, and then even in the Martin Murray fight, he looked bad, and we know he was injured. He wasn't 100% even going into the Martin Murray fight. So he's pretty much done. But outside of him, there's no one that really stood out. I mean, you had Julio Cesar Chavez, but he lost to Sergio Martinez. And there were fights that he was in close fights with, you know, even with like Rubio and several other fighters. There was a lot of fights that Chavez Jr., he just really didn't seem like he didn't set himself apart from the other middleweights. I mean, besides the fame, you know, as far as skill level, there was no middleweight. It has not been a middleweight that has really set himself apart from everyone else outside of Gennady Golovkin. Okay, Golovkin has fought. He's either fought a lot of the guys I just named, or the fights that or the fighters that he's at least fought the fighters that fought a lot of the guys I just named and been in competitive fights with each other. But when Golovkin gets in the ring with him, he knocks him out. He knocks all of them out. It's never close. It's never close fights. Okay, and Murray, who's been in the ring, had a draw with Felix Sturm. Okay, you know, he lost to Sergio Martinez, even though people thought he won. He's never clearly beaten any top fighter. Okay, and Golovkin is doing exactly that. He's beating everyone. He's not making it debatable. You know, he's clearly the best fighter at 160. Is no argument at this point. All right, so Martin Murray really doesn't bring. I mean, he's gonna come in. I expect him to fight. You know, he's gonna be in the shell. He's gonna work off his jab and his combinations. All right. It will be interesting to see. I mean, he's not a small middleweight. It would be interesting to see if he can try to get Golovkin to fight off the back foot. All right, that would be his best chance. Okay, Murray usually starts slow, so I think he should, me personally, I think he should take a different approach and come out quickly, because he needs to gain Golovkin's respect. He's not a big puncher, but I mean, he is a tough fighter. He seems to be pretty durable. All right, but then again, there's been plenty of fighters that have been plenty durable until they fought Golovkin. All right, Gill seemed to be a pretty durable fighter. I mean, he's never been knocked out before. Rubio, who has been knocked out before, hasn't been really knocked out recently, okay? He fought big punchers, and he's lasted. I mean, Kelly Pavlik knocked him out. But, I mean, it was like a stoppage. You know, Rubio really didn't get knocked out of fight. And Kelly Pavlik is a huge middleweight. Very tall with a lot of power. David Lemieux, a big puncher in the middleweight division, wasn't able to knock out Rubio. But as soon as Rubio got in the ring with Golovkin, as soon as he got hit, all right, he was second guessing to continue. You know, you can tell he could have gotten up, and he did not get up and finish the fight, all right? Because when you get hit by Golovkin, you start thinking in there, you know, how long can you really last? And I think the same is gonna happen with Murray. Murray, who seems to be a tough fighter, I don't think he's gonna be able to survive a fight with Golovkin. He's not going to be able to go 12 rounds. I mean, he could possibly, because he's usually fighting in the shell, but Golovkin has a great jab. I expect Golovkin to open him up with that jab. I expect Golovkin to hit him with some good power shots to the body. You know, Golovkin is a very good body puncher, all right? And he has a great jab. I mean, he can drop people with that jab alone, all right? So, I really don't see how Murray can survive. You know, Murray is just going to have to bring a lot of pressure. He's going to have to fight with Golovkin, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. I mean, I really don't see him having a chance in there. I think he's going to be the next person Golovkin is going to exterminate. He's going to be the next good boy, all right? So, anyway, you know, after this fight is over, if Golovkin wins, you know, by knockout, I really don't see too many people left, you know, because he's clearing out the division. You know, you still got Andy Lee. He's fighting Matt Corabo for the WBO title. So I guess Golovkin could fight the winner of that fight. You got Peter Quillen still available. You know, you got Danny Jacobs is still available out there. You got Hassan Indam. I'm expecting him to fight Jermaine Taylor. So I mean, I guess Golovkin could fight the winner of that fight. But there's not too many guys left in the division, and at this point, you know, if it's not some of the guys I just named, there's not really too many other guys out there for him to fight. I mean, he's already made his point. So, but these are good fights. These are still respectable fights. You know, Martin Murray is a very respectable opponent compared to everybody else in the division. If it was anybody else, honestly, there's a few fighters in the middleweight division that I think can beat Martin Murray, but I don't think any of them can knock him out except Golovkin. Okay, Martin Murray's pretty tough, so I'm interested to see how this fight goes. All right, I think it's going to be KO within 6 rounds. All right, that's my pick. I see Golovkin knocking Murray out by 6 rounds, all right? So Murray's going to be the next good boy, and that's it. And there's really nothing else to talk about. Let me know what you guys think of the fight. The fight's in February, and make sure you hit subscribe. Peace.